Today's video, I'm going to show you how I do cut flowers and potted flowers in found, vintage, and IKEA vases. Disclaimer, I'm not a professional horticulturist. I just know what I do and what will last long enough for what I need. So first I'm going to be planting this #2 crock. I've used it many times. In the top it already has dirt, it's got rocks on the bottom. This has had mums, lavender, a myriad of different things planted in it. And I usually only keep this planted for a few months and then I put something new for the next season. So I've got this ranunculus here. This is from Home Depot. It was $14.95 for this entire set situation. See, it's all together here. I'm just gonna kind of dump it out. Try not to get dirt everywhere. Oops. It's still a little chilly outside, but these will be okay on my porch, and if it snows, I can bring it in. I'm just gonna break up this root bottom here, and I think this may be more dirt in here than I can handle.
Might have to dump some out.
Yeah, all right. Yep, too much dirt, okay. Oh, you're getting dirt. That's what I did not want to happen. All right, so Zeb is helping me out, dumping out some of the dirt. I still think that's not gonna be.
All right, more dirt.
Good, it's just the right amount. Push it in.
Dump it down in.
If I pull that out again, it's not gonna survive. All right.
The root ball's breaking up.
Done. If I wanted this to survive like long term, I would have to use a crock probably twice as big, but I don't wanna wait for it to look full because I know this is not gonna last in the heat. So as long as it lasts a couple months, we're good to go. Next, I'm gonna take these cut tulips. I'm gonna put them in this old oil tin. It's got holes in the bottom because I think somebody planted it outside. And so what I do is I just take one of these plastic cups, slide it down in, and that way I can just keep water in that cup and I don't have to worry about it going through the holes in the bottom. And I'm gonna check it for height. I think it may be the perfect height just the way it is, but you never know. Yep. So I like to just pull them out like that. And these will open up, and usually they'll last for at least a week, usually 2 weeks once they've opened up. I'm gonna be pulling off all these leaves that would be below the water line because they will get yucky and moldy if you don't pull them off. This is Alastomeria. I buy them at Costco. They're $9.95 a bunch. And those tulips I just showed you, they're from Costco too. One of my other favorite places to go and get flowers is Trader Joe's. If you have one near you, they have really great prices and a good selection as well. So in my container, I have room temperature water and I've got the food that it comes with. I will leave these in this initial food water for about 3 days. And then after that, I usually change the water every 2 to 3 days with just fresh water. It extends the life of your flowers quite a bit. And these particular flowers will last about 2 weeks, maybe a little bit longer. Okay, I'm just checking for size. I'm gonna cut off about 3 inches on the bottom using my kitchen shears. That's still a little bit tall, so I'm gonna go a little bit shorter. I want them to kind of be bunched up around the top of the space. I don't want them to be hanging out, so I'm just gonna. I know I'm probably cutting them wrong, but that's how I do it. All right, so these look like they're the right height, so I'll just use these as a guide for cutting all the rest of them and add like another 1/4 of an inch each bloom. Then once I get them in there, sometimes I arrange them. It depends on how much time I have. If I'm in a big hurry, I just use the chop saw and I cut them all at once. So I just like to arrange them with the shorter ones coming at the side. They're almost all the same length, but if you shove them in at an angle, then that's gonna make them come down at an angle. And I like to make sure they're not all bunched up in the water. The water's a little murky right now because it does have the plant food, but in a couple hours it will clear right up and we'll be good to go. I'm gonna do one more arrangement just like this. These are gonna be for next to my bed. I like to do 2 big arrangements in the spring. It looks nice and fresh, and these are really inexpensive flowers to fill such a big vase. Last but not least, I'm gonna be planting this toolbox. Here's a couple of things. If you were gonna do this the proper way, you would lay down plastic inside of it, so that way it would keep all the liquid in there, and then also probably put some rocks down there. I'm thinking this is probably only gonna be in my house for about a month. So I'm just gonna put dirt straight in there and water. I have done many outdoor plants this way and moved them indoors and they last a month, sometimes as much as 2 months. When I go to water this, I'll just take the whole toolbox outside, water it, let it drain, and then move it back inside. And then when I decide to switch up decor or the hyacinths start dying, then I'll just switch out to some other flowers. So I'm just putting in potting mix. This is not specifically for indoor plants because like I said, I will be moving these outdoors. Hyacinths require full sun, so if you wanted them to last a long time, you would need to keep them outside. So I'm just pulling these out of the pots and placing them in here. Once I get them where I want them, then I will add more dirt around them. They were $1.98 a piece. So when I'm all done planting this, it will cost me about the same as if I bought a big cut bouquet, and it will definitely last longer. Will it last as long as the ones out front? Nope. But it'll definitely last at least a month planted this way. So I'm just filling in the dirt. You want this to be all the way filled up so that way the bulb is not exposed. I got some sphagnum moss to put over the top. That will help hold some of the moisture in for these plants. I'm adding the sphagnum moss. This works out really good to keep your plants moist. There's a whole myriad of things you can do there. I just think it looks good. So that's why I use it. I'm just gonna put this moss and push it down into the soil and fill up this whole area. So I get asked a lot about planting outdoor plants inside, the longevity, how they're gonna survive. All I know is that whenever I buy hydrangeas already cut, they die in a couple of days. These two I purchased at our local grocery store, Harmon's. I think they were about 20 bucks a piece. I purchased them before Valentine's Day, so over a month and a half ago, and they are still thriving. And every now and then they start to look a little sad because I forget to water them and I throw some water on them, and I haven't done anything. In fact, they're inside a little plastic pot. I'm pretty sure eventually they're gonna get root bound, but for now, they cost the same as cut flowers and they've lasted over a month and a half. I hope this video inspires you to use some vintage found, maybe some new items to create some floral vignettes in your home. You can use crocks, toolboxes, old watering cans, or even clear IKEA jugs to arrange your flowers. You can use cut flowers as well as potted flowers. I do feel like the potted flowers last a little bit longer, but if you change the water, you can get your cut flowers to last a long time too.
Inevitably, when we're checking out at Costco or the grocery store, someone will ask me, hey, did you get in trouble? What's with all the flowers? Jimmy just buys flowers all the time.
You're never in trouble.
Sure, never.
We're gonna be doing a spring tour and showing you how we use all these flowers indoors and outdoors. Be sure you hit that notification button so that way you don't miss our spring tour coming up the end of this week. You can see how we use all these flowers. Be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY.
Hit the subscribe button.